everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I do have a Chille video for you. He is about as misinformed in this video as he is in all of his others. I don't know where he gets his information other than he just thinks of it and it comes out of his mouth, because he sure as hell doesn't do any research on what he talks about. Enjoy the video. So yeah, it's another cringy ass Chille video. Just bear with me. I had to do quite a lot of research on this one because he just gives so much misinformation and lies. I don't even know where to begin.
Laws, what's going on out there in the land of YouTube? Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Put in the comment section, OTVO, overturn Terry versus Ohio. So when you hear a sheriff...
Yes, everybody. He's going to overturn a case or a law that he has zero understanding of that law. Good luck, Chille.
Or a cop talk about we can't have a no bail system. What they're doing is they're trying to defend and keep their industry of people guarding other people's skin for no good reason. I'm telling you, that's what's going on. So you're going to hear the sheriff, and he's going to be...
I have no clue what the fuck he's talking about. They have guards for this in the prison system. The only time you're going to find actual sheriff's deputies in guarding inmates is in a county jail. Like, come on, Chille. You've been to prison. You know this.
Like, oh, come help me pick up the bodies. But there's no bodies. He's lying. He's a scumbag pig. And his whole goal is to make sure that there is an industrial prison complex.
Police go on to tell us Williams had 2 prior convictions for criminal possession of a weapon. He also had separate warrants for failing to appear in court, already pending charges. This particular arrest prompting Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter to voice frustration, saying he feels like he's continuing to send...
Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter, he is part of the executioner squad at the jailers. And if there's not enough people in jail, they have to lay people off. They don't need you to guard someone's skin, so you lose your job. This cop is
wrong, because if you're working in a county jail, you're a sheriff's deputy more than likely. And if they don't need you there, they're just going to put you on the street. So you're not going to lose your job. And if he's talking about prison guards, well, yeah, they're in dire need of prison guards all around the country. That has nothing to do with what he's talking about. Again, it's just Chille talking out of his ass and repeating it over and over because it's his manipulation tactic for his dumb followers who can't seem to fact check anything he says.
Trying to make sure that the people that work for him and work with him don't lose their jobs. They'll pick the most egregious situation. I'm not sure if you guys know this or not, but in the year 2018, I believe it was 2018.
If you pay attention, Chille's eyes are not closed. He's reading this off of his screen.
Donald Trump signed into law what is called the First Step Act. The First Step Act was supposed to be for all jails and prisons, but the Fraternal Order of Police, they filtered the bill so that pretty soon it just got to federal prisoners. Federal prisoners.
Wrong, Chille. The First Step Act was designed specifically for federal prisoners, not for state, for federal, not for jails, for federal. Oh my. Chille doesn't seem to understand that it was originally designed just for federal inmates. Let's just go ahead and put it out there. In 2018, Congress passed, and then Donald Trump signed into law the bipartisan First Step Act, a sweeping criminal justice reform bill designed to promote rehabilitation, lower recidivism, I can never get this word, repeat offending, and reduce excessive sentences in the federal prison system. Not in the state prisons, but in the federal prisons. So, since I've proven you wrong yet again, Chille, continue.
Who didn't need to be in jail could get out with the First Step Act. They could get out because of over-sentencing across all the prisons and jails in America. Donald Trump signs this law into effect. The next day, 6,000 people are let out of prison, out of federal prison.
Wrong again. Number one, it takes days, if not weeks, to release one inmate from any prison, whether it's federal or state. There's so much paperwork they have to do. It would not happen within a 12-hour period. And they could never release 6,000 federal inmates in a 12-hour period. Chille just wants to throw out whatever he can to make it sound like he knows what he's talking about when he has absolutely no clue what he's talking about. As a matter of fact, the very first set of inmates released under the First Step Act were not even released until February of 2019. Again, this was signed in December of 2018. It took 2 full months for them to process 6,000 federal inmates just for release. If Chille thinks they can process 6,000 inmates in a 12-hour period, oh my God, it's just impossible. They can't even do one person in a 12-hour period. Again, Chille just throwing out lies without even checking, and then his ignorant cultists are believing him without doing any research on their own.
One of those 6,000 people killed a woman, killed somebody. Freedom's dangerous. Freedom's dangerous. One of you right now who's never been to jail could...
Wait. What do you mean freedom is dangerous? Oh my God. First of all, releasing 6,000 inmates and only one of those inmates goes awry and kills somebody, that's pretty good. But I'm sure where Chille's getting to this, because I haven't seen the whole video yet. I'm going to watch it with you guys. But I think where he's going with this is because 1 out of 6,000 inmates who decided to go out and kill somebody, that means the entire act is dumb and should have never happened, blah, blah, blah. Does he even know what the act is? I mean, he's talking as if it's just because they were overcrowded and they decided to let 6,000 people go. However, that's not what it was about. It wasn't about because of overpopulation. It's literally, it's earned income credit. Oh my God. Yep, there's the IRS and me coming back out. It's earned time, like work time credit and blah. I forget what the other one was. It's an earned credit, work credit and stuff like that, where they actually work for that time off their sentence. It's not a bad thing. I think it is a really good thing because unfortunately, there are way too many people that end up in prison and just sit on their ass their entire sentence and do absolutely nothing. Then you've got some that go in there and they actually work 8 to 12-hour days and they don't get paid. They're working for free. So yes, to get that earned work time credit off of their sentence, it's an amazing thing that they should do. But just because one person out of 6,000 released does not mean that the entire act is bullshit, which is what I'm sure Chille's going to try and get to.
One of you right now who's never been to jail could kill somebody tomorrow. Freedom is a very dangerous thing.
What does that have to do with freedom? How is freedom so dangerous, Chille? Freedom is not what's dangerous. People are what's dangerous. I don't understand what he means by freedom is dangerous, because any one of us that are free who's never been in jail can go out and murder somebody. Freedom isn't what causes people to do that. Chille is so stupid. I mean, it just gets harder and harder to do Chille videos because of the stupidity that comes from one human being. Cannot be this intense, but it is. And it's like every time he makes a video, there's just more idiotic shit coming out of his mouth. I don't understand how one person can be so stupid.
Freedom is a very dangerous thing.
No,
so
it's not.
When Donald Trump signed the First Step Act into law, there's going to be some collateral damage anytime if you move a group of people, 10,000 people got to move from point A.
Can you repeat that, Chille? Because I want to make sure I heard it correctly.
Dangerous thing. So when Donald Trump signed the First Step Act into law, there's going to be some collateral damage anytime if you move a group of people, 10,000 people got to move from point A to point B, some of those people could die just moving from point A to point B. So
what era does he think we live in? Seriously? Honestly? First of all, when he's talking about collateral damage, the way he's talking about it, if you actually move people from point A to point B, somebody's going to die. Yes, during the long ago days, if people had to relocate in a large herd of people, then yes, somebody more than likely is going to become unalive. But to say that if the government sets a law that says so and so many people are rewarded with that, and you claim that there's going to be collateral damage with this, no. Chille, learn the definition of collateral damage, then use it.
Listen to this piggy. Remember, he's sticking up to try to save an industry of people who get paid to put on a uniform and then go be executioners and dungeon masters. And that's what he's trying.
How are they executioners? Can you explain that one, Chille? There are no executioners in a county jail, and we don't have executioners anymore. I mean, do you still think we use guillotines as well? I mean, Chille does call them coppers and all this other crap. But again, what era does he actually think we are living in? Does Chille not realize that we are alive in 2023? Not the 1800s?
Trying to protect
deputies into a, quote, hurricane. Isabel Garcia joining us now.
Do you hear what he said?
It's like he's continuing to send his deputies into a, quote, hurricane.
He's sending his deputies into a hurricane because they could get out of jail. People could get out of jail without having to pay for bail.
Okay. I don't know what he thinks this First Step Act is. Honestly, he doesn't know what it is. That's just outright, that's what it is. He doesn't understand what this is. Once you've been sentenced and you're in a federal prison, because once you're in the prison, there is no such thing as bail or bond. You've been sentenced, that's where you go. Bail and bond happens when you're in county jail awaiting sentencing or trial. It has nothing to do with bail or bond once you've reached that prison door. So, it has nothing to do with bail or bond.
Listen to what he's saying. This pig is saying he's trying.
Hey, Chille, why don't you just let the man fucking talk instead of telling us what he's saying? Because I guarantee you what he's saying is nothing close to what you're trying to say he's saying.
To make sure that people have to stay in jail because he's sending deputies into a hurricane.
Shut up and let the man talk.
Isn't the hurricane already here? Isn't crime terrible?
Isabel Garcia joining us now in studio with more. Isabel.
Yes, Adam. Sheriff Todd Baxter says, of course, dangerous situations come up with the job, and they're there to protect. But with certain criminals like Williams having repeated incidents, it's a complicated situation where it can compound the danger, not just for police, but the community at large. When it comes to topics like bail reform, Sheriff Todd Baxter tells me with the recent Williams case, and of course with this year's ongoing trend of car break-ins and thefts, particularly among teens, any progress made this year is simply not enough. So some changes as part of Hochul's budget.
So because there's car break-ins, we need to keep people in jail.
Chille, shut up.
Included replacing the least restrictive condition standard, but it did not go as far as adding dangerousness or public safety considerations to pretrial decision making.
This is the world we're living in of chaotic law, and they keep on making little tweaks to it. Step in the right direction. I applaud the governor. I applaud her. She moved the needle forward, but not about 10%.
Sheriff Baxter goes on to say, while there are deeply rooted and several factors contributing to each incident,
I want you to take a look at the media person.
Oh my
Look
God.
at the reporter there talking to the copper.
Why does it matter what she looks like or how she's acting? She's doing her job. You know, that thing you've never had?
They work together. That's state-run media right there.
goes on to say, while there
She's interviewing the man. That's it. God, he's so sexist and racist and every other ist.
are deeply rooted and several factors contributing to each incident, the type of action he's hoping to see is more immediate for the in-between. Statistics, not something he's considering here.
We're talking about people being destroyed, right? Death.
We're talking about people being destroyed,
Oh my
death, because we're
God.
letting people out of jail. That's not true. I just
Shut
showed you
up.
this because I want to show you what a hit piece looks like.
And mayhem. And you have people going, stats are up, stats are down. You don't have stats to prove anything.
They just want to
my
make
God.
money off locking you in jail.
Hey, dumbass. The police and the deputies don't make money off of you going to jail. The city does. The state does. Not the officers themselves. Sure as hell not the guards.
How much stats you want? Go up and help me pick up the bodies off the ground.
I asked
Pick up the bodies because you let people out of jail who are
Oh my
nonviolent.
God.
if he would be willing to have MCSO host and or organize a roundtable discussion with stakeholders, as he suggested, to which he responded as follows.
Well, 1,000%. And the idea we've been asking for years, but again, I don't want to go look backwards. Today we have an opportunity, right? Today we got a little time on our hands, right? Or we can make time on our schedules. If we can't find it, people say it in cliche statements all the time in press conferences and other places. The number one job of government is public safety. Well, if that's true, then either we're unethical or we're not doing it, we're incompetent. Which one?
Okay, you already said either we're
Oh my
unethical
God.
or we're incompetent. Which is it? Put a 1 in the chat.
Stupid. We already know our justice system is messed up. We already know that. We already know that the justice system can be, I think it needs a complete overhaul and redone. Our justice system sucks. Everybody knows that. What you're trying to point out has nothing to do with this, and you have no clue what they're even talking about. You're just talking.
If cops are unethical, put a 2 if they're incompetent, put a 3 if they're unethical and incompetent.
Put a 1 in the chat if Chille is a man. Put a 2 in the comments if he is not a man. 1 in the comments if he is a man, and 2 if he is not a man. Guarantee you there's going to be way more 2s than 1s.
You said it, Sheriff. You're unethical. Putting people in dungeons is unethical. Locking people up and
That's not what he was saying, you dumbass idiot. Learn to listen. Don't just hear. Learn to listen. There is a difference between hearing and listening, and Chille has not yet learned how to listen.
not giving them bail is unethical. You guys are inept. Crime is out of control. Crime's never been worse.
Then stop committing crimes, Chille. If you want crime to go down, start with yourself, because you can't force other criminals to stop, but you can stop yourself. So how about you try and stop committing crimes, and let's see where it goes from there, because you yourself are constantly out there committing a crime. No matter how small or big it is, Chille is out there committing crimes every freaking day.
In Nevada, they can't solve the crime problem. It's unbelievable how much crime is in Nevada. It's unreal. There's crime everywhere. So how good is the police state working out for us? I thought if cops are cracking down, then it's going to go a lot better. It's going to go a lot better, right? It's not going a lot better. So
as long as we have human beings, there will be crime. The only way we can stop crime is to eradicate every human being. I am sure that's what Chille would like to see done. Unfortunately, Chille, for you, fortunate for others, you would also be eradicated. So you wouldn't even see crime end. None of us would. So if you really think that you can make some big difference into stopping crime altogether, you're more of an idiot than I initially thought you were.
You said it, Sheriff. Either we're unethical or we're incompetent. You're both.
Because we can't say we're.
Wait, Chille, why did you say we? You're not a cop. You have no authority. You're a nobody. You're a homeless YouTuber wannabe, activist wannabe, frauditor wannabe, a wannabe man. Where did the we come from? Do you have a mouse in your pocket? Because you are not a cop.
Our best we can in public safety right now.
Now, another change made in bail reform this year includes specifying mental health and drug treatment within the mandatory programming option. Any of the changes formally went into effect as of June. For now, we'll send it right back to you at the desk.
It's just absolute, total, and complete crap. It's just.
So there you go. If you missed it at any point, it's total crap according to Chille. He also repeated it a couple more times afterwards. I wasn't going to get his constant repeating of words, and he's just so dumb. He had no clue what he was talking about. I mean, he's just so stupid. What did that police interview have anything to do with the First Step Act? Nothing. Not a thing. Bail and bond has nothing to do with once you're in prison, whether it's federal prison or state prison. There is no bail or bond at that point. Chille has no clue what he's talking about. He's now at this point just talking to talk and to continue manipulating his ignorant cultist. That's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. Be safe. I love each and every one of you.